Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Karen.
And I'm Matt. And today we're looking at part 2 of A Guide to Maps.
I know we've been learning about maps, right? And today we're definitely going to learn some more. But like I told you before, I'm really not good at reading maps. You know, there's one time that I went to travel in Japan by myself, and I was trying to read my map, and I really couldn't, and I kind of got lost. So I took my map and I went to a police officer, and I was trying to, I know a little bit of Japanese. So I was just like, okay, then I'm gonna ask him in Japanese. So then I went to the police officer and I said, blah, 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 wa doko desu ka? And then the police officer just went blah 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 blah, and then I didn't understand a word, and I'm just like, thank you. So I had to go to the information desk and then ask them in English, like, can you tell me where the hotel is? So don't try to pretend you know a language when you don't.
Well, it's nice that people helped you, but sometimes I find sometimes people can be too helpful.
Too helpful?
That's
what
right.
do you
So
mean?
in some places, some countries where people are very friendly, like Taiwan.
Okay.
If I'll just take out my map because I'm trying to decide, where I want to go next or which way I want to go to get there. Not that I don't know how to get there. And so when I'm looking at the map, and then people will come up to me and be, "Oh, do you need help? Can I help you to get there?" And I'm just go away.
They just want to be nice, Matt.
But, you know how to
read maps.
I know how to get there.
Okay, we all know now that you're very good at reading maps. So next time, guys, if you see Matt reading a map on the street, don't help him, okay?
That's right. Stay away.
He can find his own way. Matt, Taiwanese people are really friendly, okay?
Well, maybe they can ask me for directions and I can tell them how to get there.
In Chinese?
I could.
Okay, well, let's learn more about maps today.
Now that you know a little about the early history of maps, let's learn some fun facts. East at the top. These days, most maps feature north at the top. However, during the Middle Ages, most maps had east at the top. This was done to point in the direction of the morning sun. Puzzle maps. When printed maps became available to the general population in the 18th and 19th centuries, not everyone could understand them. In fact, the first jigsaw puzzles were designed as practice maps for 18th century geography classes.
Looking at part 2 of A Guide to Maps today. We're certainly going to learn more about maps, right?
That's right. We got more facts about maps coming up. Now that you know a little about the early history of maps, let's learn some fun facts.
I love fun facts. Sometimes I don't really like learning a lot of, too much history. Sometimes it sounds a little bit boring, but definitely fun facts are interesting.
Fun facts are good because you can share them with your friends. It's something interesting. Did you know?
Exactly. And they really want to listen to it too.
Okay, let's learn our first fun fact. East at the top. These days, most maps feature north at the top.
Okay, so we have our first vocabulary word here, and that is feature, and that is a verb. So when you say use the word feature, that means to include or have something as an important part. So for example, this year's edition features several improvements. So that's the important part that they're talking about, the several improvements.
Okay. However, during the Middle Ages, most maps had east at the top. This was done to point in the direction of the morning sun.
I didn't know that because I thought that all maps would have north at the top.
Yeah, but when you think about it, I don't even know why. Why is north at the top?
I have no idea. I don't really know too much about maps. Okay, so let's continue. Puzzle maps. When printed maps became available to the general population in the 18th and 19th centuries, not everyone could understand them. Okay.
So this is when they first became available, and available is the next vocabulary word. It's an adjective, and it means possible to have or to use. So it's available to the general population. Everyone can have or can use a map at that time. So our example sentence says, the watch is not available to the public yet, so you can't buy it.
So you have no access to it, right? No one can buy it right now.
Yeah, not available yet. So it will become available later, I assume.
Okay.
In fact, the first jigsaw puzzles were designed as practice maps for 18th century geography classes.
Huh, that sounds really interesting. You're talking about like the jigsaw puzzles that, the kids play with, and then that's actually like a map, right?
Sounds like a fun way to study.
So, I think if you do that in a geography class, that would definitely be a lot of fun. I think a lot of students would be very interested. And our next vocabulary word here is geography, and that is a noun. So, geography basically means like a study of an area. We're talking about maybe you're learning about the countries, the cities, the river, lakes, and mountain, right? And our example sentence is, the geography teacher gave a lesson on the world's tallest mountains. Okay, so usually in geography classes, you would definitely learn about things like that.
Yes, you would learn about mountains, trees, countries, physical features of the earth. So we mentioned that they were using jigsaw puzzles, and I think that sounds like a pretty fun way to have a class.
That's true.
Have you ever done a jigsaw puzzle, or do you like doing jigsaw puzzles?
Well, to be honest, I'm not very good at doing jigsaw puzzles, and they do take up a lot of time, right? So I haven't really done too many. How about you?
Well, I think they're a good way to spend time when you have like extra time. So actually my family has a tradition that during like the Christmas break time, so you don't have to work or go to school, we all have a lot of time. As a family, we would start doing a puzzle.
Like everyone will work on a big piece together?
That's right. So maybe, 500 pieces, more than 500 pieces in the puzzle, and we would be no rush to finish it. We would just put it out one day, and people would work on it from time to time, and just over a week or two, it would eventually get finished.
Really? Yeah. Okay, I guess that's a really good tradition. And I guess when everyone is working on it together, it's a good time to bond and, have some, chit-chat with your family.
Yeah, or sometimes you just come home and my dad had finished half of it already by himself.
Because he's really good at it,
yes,
right?
Yes, because he's good at it.
All right, okay. So these are some fun facts that we learned about maps. So we will be learning more after the break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。第一天的课文简单介绍了地图的演进。那既然我们已经对地图早期历史有一点了解，接着要来看看一些有趣事实。第一个是，现在大多数的地图都是北方在上面，但是在中世纪时期，大多数的地图都是东方在上面，这是为了指向早晨太阳的方向。好，那单字 feature 当动词就可以表达以什么为特色，以什么为重点。那第二个有趣事实是，在18、19世纪，一般民众都可以买到印制地图，可是并不是每个人都能理解。那么最早的拼图游戏就是设计来当做18世纪地理课上课时使用的这种练习地图哦。哇，在课堂上使用拼图地图，感觉就很有趣诶。好，单字 available 它是形容可得到的、买得到的。Geography 它表示地理学，也可以指地形地貌。那么 Jigsaw 它是指拼图游戏，我们也常称为 Jigsaw Puzzle。Matt 老师说他们家有一个传统呢，就是在圣诞假期全家一起拼图，大家都不用工作嘛，那就慢慢拼慢慢聊，听起来很棒哎。那补充一下 chit chat chit chat 可以当名词或动词来表达闲聊聊天的意思哦。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 now that 主词加动词，它表示既然、由于。那么 now 在这边呢，它是引导原因的连接词，后面呢常常会接 that 子句。像我们可以说 Now that everyone is seated, let's start the meeting. 既然大家都就座了，我们开始开会吧。好，那接着回到课文中。
Fake places.Map makers need to make sure that their work is not copied by others, To protect their work, many map makers add made-up towns or streets to their maps. Only the original map maker would know about the fake entry. Modern technology. Thanks to advances in technology, apps like Google Maps can instantly show changes in traffic, crowds, and geography. Maps can show us where we are going, but that is not all they show us. If we look at the history of maps, we can also see where we have been.
Welcome back, everyone. So we'll be learning more fun facts, right? After the break, right?
Yeah, we already learned some interesting facts about maps, like that they used to put east at the top. It's interesting.
Didn't know that. Okay, so let's talk about more fun facts. Number 1, fake places. So our next vocabulary word is fake, and that is an adjective. If you describe something as fake, that just means that it's not real, right? So for example, police questioned the man about selling fake gold necklaces on the street corner. So maybe this guy is telling other people, hey, this is a real gold necklace. And then the police officer caught him and said, hey, this is not a real one, it's a fake gold necklace.
That's not very nice. You don't want to spend all your money on a fake gold necklace and then once you're wearing it, you have gold all over your neck because it's rubbing off.
Exactly.
Okay. Map makers need to make sure that their work is not copied by others. To protect their work, many map makers add made-up towns or streets to their maps. Only the original map maker would know about the fake entry.
I have no idea. I have never heard of this before. I didn't know they would make up fake towns or fake streets.
And maybe that's why sometimes when you're using Google Maps, it tells you to go somewhere and you're like, there's no street there. Maybe that's Google Maps showing it's theirs.
Maybe.
So we have another vocabulary word here, which is original. Original means the first or not a copy of something. So our example sentence says, our original plan will not work. We need to come up with a new one. So their first plan that they had is no longer useful, so they need to make a new one. And in the case of the maps, people want to know that it's the original map, so that the map maker who made that would know that it's a fake entry on his map.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, the next one is modern technology. Thanks to advances in technology, apps like Google Maps can instantly show changes in traffic, crowds, and geography. And I have to say that it's very, very useful, although I'm not very good at reading maps. But you know, sometimes when you are driving, if you want to take a certain road, Google Maps can show you like how much traffic there is on that road. If it's like really congested, too many cars, there's a traffic jam, that part of the road would be red. And then you would try to avoid it and try to take a different route.
Yeah, I also really like how it shows you how long it takes you to get places. Because when I'm even like walking or cycling somewhere, I can decide if I want to just walk instead of taking a bus or something, because sometimes it's only like a 10-minute walk, and so it's easier.
Exactly.
Maps can show us where we are going, but that is not all they show us. If we look at the history of maps, we can also see where we have been.
And that is definitely true, right? And we have a what do you think question for everyone and for you today.
Okay.
Which fact about maps did you find the most interesting?
Okay, so in my opinion, the most interesting fact was that they used to have east at the top. But I was thinking about it. And I think, yeah, that makes sense because I think maybe they didn't have the compass yet. So they hadn't invented the compass, so they didn't have any reason to have north at the top. So it makes a lot of sense to have it point towards something like the sun, where the sun rises.
And the sun rises from the same direction every single day.
Right, so it's very useful.
Okay, well, in my opinion, I think the fake places on the map is the most interesting because I've never heard of it before. And I thought everything on the map would be real. Nothing would be fake, right?
That's right. It's an interesting way for someone to, protect their work from others copying it by actually making their work not as good because part of your map is wrong then.
I guess you're right, but not a lot. Just like a very small part or maybe this one small teeny tiny street.
Wow, that's going to be annoying for someone who gets lost.
I guess you're right. Okay. Well, I think I'm definitely going to learn how to read maps because I do find it really, really useful. And I don't want to get lost all the time. Especially with our technology today, I think I'll be able to learn pretty quickly.
That's right. I think it's easier for everyone more and more these days with technology. And I think with knowing about where maps came from, we can all, appreciate it a bit more when we use our Google Maps next time.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next time.
好，第三个有趣事实是假的地点。好，许多地图制作者呢，为了确保作品不会被其他人抄袭，他们就把这个虚构的城镇啊，或者是街道加进了他们的地图上。那只有原本地图的制作者会知道这个假的记载事项。好，文中的 entry 在这边是指新记载的内容。那么单字 fake 是形容假的、伪造的，还有 original 它是形容原作的或是最初的，像那种原创的那种意思。再来，我们看到第四个有趣事实是说，由于科技的进步，多亏了科技的进步，像 Google Maps 这样的应用程式，可以立即显示交通啊、人群还有地貌的变化。Karen 老师这时候就聊到 Google Maps 它会用颜色来显示出交通拥塞的程度。好，那老师用到 congested，congested，它可以形容词拥塞的、拥挤不堪的。好，那这边也来补充一下 ，Matt 老师他在回想今天学到的有趣事实，就提到，地图以东方或是北方在上方，这搞不好是跟 compass 有关 ，compass，compass 其实就是罗盘或是指南针的意思了。那课文最后写到说，如果我们看地图的历史，也可以看到我们一路走来的轨迹。那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 thanks to， 它表示幸亏、因为、由于，那它是片语介系词，后面接名词。那这时候它跟 because of 意思相近，只是 thanks to 常常用来表达正面的原因，例如 thanks to their directions, we found the place easily。多亏他们的指引，我们轻轻松松就找到那个地方了。第二重点是 if 引导条件句的用法。if 它可以引导表示条件的副词子句，那可以用来表达现在或未来可能发生的情况。特别注意，你在指未来情况的时候呢 ，if 子句里面的动词要用现在式，而不是未来式哦。好，但它的句型就是 if 主词加动词，逗号，主词加上 will、may 或者是 can 加上原形动词，就可以表达如果怎么样，什么将会、可能、可以怎么样。例如 ，If it rains tomorrow。We will go to the movies instead. 如果明天下雨，我们将会改去看电影。好，那么主要子句呢，你其实也可以用祈使句来表达。这时候句型就是 if 主词加动词，逗号，祈使句。好，那英文有一个句子，他就说啦 ，If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. 怕热就不要进厨房。那这是用来指说一个人他如果没办法承受压力或问题，就应该罢手不要做。如果你经不起考验，就不要答应做这件事嘛。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Now that you know a little about the early history of maps, let's learn some fun facts. East at the top. These days, most maps feature north at the top. However, during the Middle Ages, most maps had east at the top. This was done to point in the direction of the morning sun. Puzzle maps. When printed maps became available to the general population in the 18th and 19th centuries, not everyone could understand them. In fact, the first jigsaw puzzles were designed as practice maps for 18th century geography classes. Fake places. Map makers need to make sure that their work is not copied by others. To protect their work, many map makers add made-up towns or streets to their maps. Only the original map maker would know about the fake entry. Modern technology. Thanks to advances in technology, apps like Google Maps can instantly show changes in traffic, crowds, and geography. Maps can show us where we are going, but that is not all they show us. If we look at the history of maps, we can also see where we have been.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Rong, and today we're in Hualien at a school called Shuiyuan Elementary School. In Shuiyuan Elementary School, all the students are indigenous, with 95% of them being from the Truku tribes. Because of this, several courses are unique to the school and focus a great deal on Truku culture. Well, aren't you eager to know more about this school? I am. Let's go check it out.
Shuiyuan Elementary School has a beautiful campus with a lot of lawn space. So the school pays much attention to environmental education as well. On the campus, there are many different trees, including Taiwan golden rain trees, bishopwood, maple trees, and Indian almond trees. Also, there is a small ecological pond that was built for students. The school hopes kids can learn things from the local culture and natural environment. The other thing that Shuiyuan Elementary School is famous for is its dancing team. In recent years, the school-trained dancing team has won many awards at national competitions because of the support and efforts of its principal. The themes of their dances mainly present the spirit and traditions of Truku culture. Through their performances, they are introducing Truku culture to more people. Shuiyuan Elementary School not only has a highly regarded dance team though, it also has an amazing baseball team which has won many awards around the country too. Kids in Shuiyuan Elementary School are encouraged to participate in different types of sports.
Whether it's dancing or athletics, there is nothing that's too hard for Shuiyuan kids. Shuiyuan Elementary School really teaches their students to show pride in the Truku culture.
See you next time!